Hello, my name is Grant Collins and I'm a senior at Lincoln Southwest High School. I'd like to thank you for the opportunity, and I am very excited to be an important member of the Teacher Scholars Academy. I know there are a lot of other applications, and I'm going to do my best to answer the questions in a timely and effective manner so that I can make a better use of your time. I'm going to be starting with a time I helped another person learn something. I feel as if I've always taught others throughout my whole life, and it was actually really difficult for me to decide which example I wanted to give. I remember in first grade, I taught Olivia how to tie her shoe, or this summer, I taught my brother how to water ski. I could even talk about how I taught Danielle, among others, how to do color guard. But what I would really like to talk about is the time that I taught my friend Louie how to do his very own insulin shot. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get him into the video like I was with everyone else. He lives out of town and he doesn't do very well with long car rides. He's 18 years old and has type 1 diabetes, obviously, and Down syndrome. He's been diabetic his entire life, but he was kind of afraid to give himself shots. He was afraid he'd hurt himself, which makes sense for anybody learning how to do shots. I'd actually taught a girl named Sarah a few years before how to do her own insulin shot, which was real fun. Sarah and I are friends to this day. Even though I had no trouble teaching Sarah how to do her own insulin shot, it was much different with Louie because I knew he had his own individualized challenge. And so what I did is I imagined how I would want to be taught if I were in his shoes. And what I decided was that I would want to do it, drawing up the insulin shot, pinching the skin, putting it in, pushing down the plunger, all that good stuff. And so I did. I rolled up my sleeve and I let him, draw it up, pinch the skin, put it in all on his own. That way he could at least see that he wasn't hurting me at all, but that he was still doing it correctly. And so that's where we started. But so what ended up happening was he agreed that he would do it, but he was afraid still, and he wanted to hold somebody's hand. And so, because you can't pinch your skin and give yourself a shot at the same time, I held his hand with my hand, and with my other hand I pinched his skin. So he gave it in his belly, right? So he did everything. He drew it up. I was pinching it for him. Obviously, I don't have 4 hands, but if I did, I would show you exactly what I did. So I pinched it. Here's my hand. Here's Louie's hand. Boop, and it goes super easy. And this leads really, really well into what inspires me to become a teacher. I really struggled to answer this question. I really had to do some soul searching because I've never had a teacher who inspired me. Not that I've had bad teachers, but just none of them made teaching seem like a fun career choice. And so with Louie, what inspires me is Louie. And even though I'm not going to be teaching Louie, obviously, because he's growing up and I'm growing up and we're going separate ways in life, Louie's smile when he realized that he could do his own insulin shot was just amazing. It was beautiful. It's an indescribable moment to teach somebody how to do something they've wanted to do their entire life, or maybe not even their entire life, just maybe something they're struggling with. But it was the biggest smile, and everybody around couldn't help but smile. He was so just immensely, over the moon. He was so excited. And honestly, it's a moment that I'll never forget. It was a really good moment. I think the most important thing a teacher can do is be engaged and adapt to their students and the learning styles that work best for the students. Even if it's not a normal learning style, sometimes those are the best ones. Normally, when you teach someone how to do an insulin shot, you let them do it on a bear first. And sure, we'd done plenty of bears with Louie, but he didn't understand because he knew the bears wouldn't feel pain. He knew they weren't alive. So for him, it had to be done on a person before he could do it to himself. My goal as a future educator is to make every single student proud of themselves the exact same way that Louie was proud of himself. And the only way that I can accomplish that is by adapting to what every student needs. Again, I would like to thank you for considering me for the Teacher Scholars Academy. I hope to hear back from you soon, and have a nice day.